people's face. As soon as they pull the tanks back, suddenly people stop throwing bottles. I mean, it'd be like if some guy got in your yard, all muscle bound, saying, come out here, I'm going to kick your butt for no reason. I guess the cops think we're all the type of coward that would just cower inside. I mean, I'm not looking for trouble, but I don't care how big the guy is. The bigger, the better, quite frankly. I get people that when they're faced with something big and mean, getting really aggressive. Because I tend to fight, not run. And that's why, quite frankly, I can't go to these type of events. Because, I mean, I just can't. I mean, man, the cops start aiming guns at my chest when I'm standing there with a video camera, and I'm not doing anything. I mean, they're just all standing out there for hours, and you look over and the cop's aiming a .223 right at your chest, smiling at you. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, we're dead inside if that doesn't make you angry. I guarantee you both my grandfathers, and they weren't like the meanest guys in town or anything, would have climbed up on top of that armored vehicle and beaten the hell out of that cop. When World War II vets came back to Athens, Tennessee, and a bunch of that stuff was going on, they attacked the city hall and police station and basically blew it up. And the state police stood down and the state legislature endorsed it. So, of course, that was white people mainly, though. The Battle of Athens. So, I mean, is it different when whites march up with guns? That's another issue. Look at what happened when it was predominantly a white crowd. There were some blacks and Hispanics out there at Bundy Ranch. And the feds knew there were military people ready for it to start. Thank God we were there trying to de-escalate the situation. But see, this is where all this is going, folks. Tinderboxes at every level. As a military veteran who saw a lot of combat, Joe Biggs, do you disagree with my analysis? Do you agree with it? You're out there in Ferguson reporting live from the street. We're going to go out and talk to some of the crowd coming up. We're going to talk to Josh Owens as well. You've heard my breakdown, but what's your take on what I just said?
Well, I completely agree. You know, when someone points a gun at you, you're going to stand up for the most part. Most people don't, they're not going to be oppressed like that. You know, and the funny thing is they're trying to justify a complete gassing and shooting up of a town because of one glass bottle and one Molotov cocktail. The Molotov cocktail wasn't even thrown at the police. That landed on top of a car wash away from them anyways, and it was out in 30 minutes. So they try to justify basically turning this town of Ferguson into Fallujah from one bottle hitting the ground. They were threatened from that, and they all had guns pointed at us, and yet one bottle threatened them. I just don't understand that.
And that's at night when they attacked everybody. During the day, you're all just standing around. We have the HD video, and they're like, go to the sidewalk. Now get off the sidewalk. Start shoving people and aiming guns at you.
Yeah, there were women and children trying to get by because they needed to get home. There were kids that needed to get home, and they refused to let people by. There were elderly out here. There were people who were crippled with walkers and canes trying to get home because they couldn't continue standing out here all day, and the police refused. And then once the police decided to attack this entire town, all they did was push everybody another mile up the road to a combat zone and putting them further away from where they needed to be. It was complete and total unprofessionalism on the part last night of the Ferguson police.
Well, the feds are giving these orders, it's always the same now, to get more funding and create the perception they need all these riot police to start the Civil War, Joe.
They keep doing something like this. The scary part is that might happen.
Well, that's the plan. It's like putting two roosters in a pen together.
Yeah.
And you know, putting knives on their feet. I mean, it's going to get violent somewhere down the road, and they're just all sold and ready for this Civil War, which is meant to be triggered using groups that it'll be seen as acceptable. But the real target's the Tea Party. Don't the police and military get that that's officially in the Pentagon plan? Do they really want to go up against American gun owners?
I hope not. I know for the most part, like I've said in the past, all my friends that are military, there's no way they would ever pick up arms against U.S. citizens. They're not going to infringe on people's rights. So they've got to find some very sick, twisted individuals out there to be able to do that, given there are some, but I would hope that the masses would not do that.
Well, what about what we saw in Katrina? I mean, they came and took the guns there.
Yeah, that was a very crazy event right there. I still can't believe that happened.
Well, they ran the PSYOP. It was all a test, and America passed the test that we're ready to be disarmed. And so the New World Order takes that as a chance to advance. And now they're there playing the police and the citizens off against each other. And Obama and the globalists are sitting back laughing. I want to talk to the crowd when we come back, then some to Josh Owens.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the Survival Silver Solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water for your preparedness storage or your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com.
On the average, Americans work between 45 to 50 years, hoping to build up enough wealth to retire and live out their golden years. Unfortunately, with taxation, the rising cost of food, energy, housing, and medical, many retirees are forced to live below the poverty line. Is this a flaw free enterprise, or is our monetary unit we call the Federal Reserve Note forcing us into perpetual debt, ensuring inflation and higher taxes? These questions and more can be answered by reading G. Edward Griffin's book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. Congressman Ron Paul states it's what every American needs to know about central bank power. A gripping adventure into the secret world of international banking cartel. Hi, this is Ted Anderson. I will give a silver dollar from the early 1900s to anyone who purchases this book. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order a copy today. It's critical that the public be made aware of the system. Call and order your copy today at 1-800-686-2237. That's 1-800-686-2237.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes.
Why didn't the police, within a day, go get the surveillance camera footage? Well, maybe they couldn't, because the place was burned down. But they go into the report how they got it off a digital cloud backup footage of Ferguson citizen Michael Brown reportedly choking and robbing someone in the store owner. and see how they use this destabilization as the pretext now. I mean, we always had stuff like this happening before in America. Why do we need armored vehicles now? We've got Al Sharpton, the reanimated corpse. They're stirring it all up. Let's go back to Joe Biggs, reporting for Infowars.com. Then we're going to come back in the next segment, talk briefly to Josh Owens. What else is coming up, Joe? What else is unfolding out there? I'm told the paramilitary police are gone. Now it's state police in blue uniforms talking to the public. The police chief came out, talked to folks last night. We were able to interview him. What do you expect to happen tonight? Are things starting to de-escalate?
Yeah, everything's calming down quite a bit, Alex. Right now, like you said, the police that have been here, that were here last night, were way more professional. They weren't treating people like animals. And when they gave them the right to exercise their rights as an American, and everything was peaceful and fine. The Highway Patrol was very, very professional. They did an outstanding job. But I have Andrew here with me. He actually got to hear the chief of the Ferguson Police this morning speak. What did he have to say?
Well, the fact that the Ferguson Police Chief came down here this morning and didn't release any information on the incident report of the murder of Michael Brown, which is the main story here, and began the whole process of starting to blame the guy who can't stand up for himself because he's dead. So for him to come down here, it was unbelievably unprofessional and provocative. For him to come down here and only give information which suggests we're not really going to talk about the murder right now. We're going to talk about the fact that Mike was a regular person, maybe not a perfect person, but he's dead. He has families. He deserves justice. And the story continues to be and needs to be the death of Michael Brown and not about wrecking him. Not about wrecking him personally. He is dead and he can't speak for himself. And if the witnesses are borne out of what happened a couple streets away, then it is not okay that the police chief of Ferguson comes down here and acts like the story is that Michael Brown might have gotten himself into some trouble. He did not deserve to be shot down like a dog. Sorry, but it's upsetting.
What do you think about the events that have unfolded at nighttime around here with the police department the other night? Were you here when they started shooting tear gas and rubber bullets into the crowd?
I was not here. I'm from North County and happy to be from North County, but I'm from Hazelwood. It was an unbelievable overreaction. The militarization of the zone was ridiculous. It was overkill. And if you point guns at people, bad things are going to happen. It's going to provoke them and upset them for obvious reasons. The feds leaned in and they said, pull out the presents and people will act like people. And that's what happened.
Oh, the
that's
feds saved us.
All the more unbelievable.
This guy's an
The feds
MSNBC
didn't
listener.
lean in on the police chief and say, don't say this kind of stuff after we finally calmed the community.
Oh, hold on one second. I want to ask him a question. Ask him if he's aware of where the training came from that got the police to act like this to begin with, and ask him if he knows about the police report and video showing purportedly Brown robbing the store. I mean, isn't that pertinent?
Are you aware of where the police got their training from?
No, that's an unusual question for me. No, I'm not. I'm not.
And what was the other question, Alex?
Well, I mean, my point is they've been federalized, so the feds can play the part of the savior. Ask him if he's aware that they've released a police report and video stills purportedly showing Michael Brown robbing and choking and attacking the shopkeeper.
Are you aware that they've released some footage and stills saying that Michael Brown actually was involved in a robbery?
I'm very much aware of that. That, however, after several nights of violence, should not be the main story. And the fact that he came down here to launch that, along with nothing, literally nothing about the murder, suggests that they're beginning to circle the wagons and suggest that it's about who Mike was. It's not about who Mike was. We all have kids. We all have kids that aren't always perfect. But you know what? You don't get to gun them down. And there's no indication at this point that the police officer was chasing him down like a robber. If he was chasing him down like a robber, then why didn't he take in his compadre, his friend who was with him at the scene?
Well, I agree with that if that's true. Hold on. I'm going to come back and let that guy finish up. Talk to a few more. Talk to Josh Owens. I'm going to give the number out. Take your phone calls.
We're on the march.